everybody.
Hi guys.
Mr. and Mrs. Traveler here.
ElleKosGlam.
Coming to you live from Cocoa Beach.
Yes, we're in the middle of Dorian. Well, actually, he left.
Was it a guy or a girl?
I think Dorian is a guy. That's what the weather reports are referring to him as, a guy.
That's like one of the names can go either way. But, you know, I'm not trying to be funny, but yeah, never mind.
I'm just glad he gone.
Anyway, y'all, so in the spirit of the storm passing us by, we wanted to come to you today, guys, and just kind of give you some information on what happens when there's a storm like this during your cruise.
Yeah, how do you handle if you get cancellations or there's a storm and it just, in Florida, storms just pop out of nowhere. So how do you handle that? That's why we're here.
Yeah. So this one was so very unusual because Dorian came across and just stalled out over the top of the Bahamas. So first and foremost, our prayers and our thoughts and go out to the Bahamian people.
Yes.
So that made it very, very difficult to predict where the ships are going. I mean, because that affects some of the biggest cruise ports, you know, in the world, frankly. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Port Canaveral. I mean, that's a source of a lot of cruises. So it was very difficult. So guys, typically what happens is it's really a waiting game when it comes to storms and these cruises. The cruise lines are not going to make decisions really far out in advance because, as you can tell, this storm is a perfect example. It could do anything. When it first started coming across, I recall, they said, oh, it's a very weak system. It's going to hit Dominican Republic. It's going to break up and boom. Okay, next day. Looks like it's going to miss Dominican Republic. It's going to hit Puerto Rico. It's going to go blah and disappear. Next day. Oh, it just missed Puerto Rico and is going to go over the north of the Bahamas and go out to sea. Next day. Oh, it's going to hit the Bahamas dead on. You know, so it changed every day. So literally, people were going down to the wire like 2 days before the cruise before you found out what was going to happen. So your number one best defense for these kind of things is?
Insurance. You have to have insurance. That's what covers you. Make sure you get insurance. We can't push insurance on you, but if I was you, I would take insurance.
So yeah, typically you'll have a lot more leverage if you have the insurance because you can cancel and rebook something, and when they know a storm is coming, they're usually a lot more forgiving as far as any rebooking fees or anything like that.
Right. And
the insurance covers most of that stuff. So it really is, if you're going to cruise, you know, really anytime July, August, September, October, you know, it is a pretty good idea to try to have that. I
think insurance makes your vacation a little bit better. When you have insurance, you know that you can just relax, get packed, instead of being frantic and worrying about the weather. If you had insurance, you could be laid back. If your cruise go through or your vacation resort, whatever it is, you will feel so much better if you had insurance.
So now, if you're a little bit more flexible with your time in that, you have some different options. So basically, if the storm is coming and it's too dangerous, they will cancel your cruise.
Yes,
they will delay your cruise. So we have seen with this particular cruise here, our customers, they have turned 3-day cruises into 5- and 6-day cruises. They took off from the port and they stayed out there because the storm lingered, right?
Right.
Then the cruises that were supposed to go when that cruise ship came back ended up getting canceled. So that's typical. Another thing that can happen is they can alter the itinerary of your cruise. So obviously with this one, if a ship did get out of Fort Lauderdale or Miami, it had an opportunity, instead of going to the Bahamas, to go down and go to Mexico, maybe go to Jamaica, Grand Cayman, something like that.
Right.
So they would change their itinerary. Sometimes they just stay out at sea, you can just relax out there.
Right.
So, you know, that's another option. And those really are the two main big things that will happen with the cruise: is delays, itinerary changes, and then cancellations. So really three things that can occur. When they do those things, the cruise lines are very good at compensating people. So we were seeing people that, okay, if you decide to do this shorter cruise, we'll give you half your money back and give you some onboard credit. Or if this cruise is canceled, we're going to give you all your money back and a future credit for X amount of dollars. You know, they typically do that. They don't necessarily have to, because it's a weather-related thing. They could give you your money back and just call it a day. But most of the time, they're giving future cruise credits or giving some incentives for you to rebook.
Right. When the weather is crazy like this, especially with Dorian, we always watch our emails. So they always hit you up with an email. That way they communicate back and forth with you.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you watch your emails.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we had one when 2 years ago when Maria came through the Caribbean, and that's the one that really devastated.
And she really came through.
And devastated Puerto Rico.
Yes.
That one right there, we were actually scheduled to be on the Carnival Fascination that weekend when the storm hit. Actually it was the week after the storm hit. And they still did not cancel the cruise straight away. It was like literally maybe a week before the cruise.
It was very soon.
Where they said, well, you know what, the port is damaged, we can't go. And they ended up using the Fascination for relief efforts for the Caribbean. They actually used the ship for that to help out the, I don't know if it was the Red Cross, there was some kind of aid for the Caribbean. So that was cool. But they offered us, we got all our money back, and if you had airline credits, you got some credit on that. And then they offered a future cruise credit as well. So that's when we were actually able to take advantage of it, and we went on the Vista.
They took really good care of us.
Yeah. So we were able to move over to the Vista. We called and talked to them, and we got on the Vista the same day that we would have got on the Fascination. So they are pretty accommodating. So, but again, your number one defense is
insurance.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So, you know, that's what happens. Mother Nature is what it is down here this time of year. You just never know.
When we moved down, we understood that there would be hurricanes and there would be bad weather. But unfortunately, with Florida, the weather changed at a drop of a dime. And we know that, but other people don't know that. So a lot of people come here to port out and sell out on the ships, and they don't understand our weather. We're used to it, but we're bringing this information to you so you can better prepare yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So, and again, you know, your hurricane season in July, August, September, October, that's really when, you know, it starts sooner than that. But, you know, this time of year right now, this is
very dominant right now. September.
End of August, September is when it is really the peak time for these.
Yes. Make sure you have insurance.
Yeah. And you know, I know it's a dice game with people because their kids are out of school. They want to cruise during the summer. It's the only time they can go. Or people that are teachers, they can only get out during the summer. So, yeah. Hey, we did it for years and years when we lived in Michigan. We went every July, and we never had any problems until we moved to Florida.
We never had hurricanes.
And we always cruised in the summer.
Always, every month we would cruise. We never had hurricane problems until we moved here.
Yep, so.
But it happens. There's nothing you can do about it. But we just want to prepare you.
Yep, and they do a good job, guys. They have extra provisions on board the ship.
The staff is great.
They will stop in other ports and grab food if they need to stay out at sea. So
just enjoy it. Enjoy the extra days.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what's your boss gonna say when you call in? Say, hey, I'm stuck on a cruise ship for another 3 days. What are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification button. That way you know when we upload it. We upload every week, and we go live from places like this, even a hurricane. And if you want to book online, you can book at www.mr-traveler.com. That way you can go ahead and handle your business and we can handle your vacation.
Something fun coming up next week.
Yes, stay tuned.
It's life short, guys.
Have fun. See the world.
I'm going to see it right now.